On air yet. Okay, there we go. Hey everyone, welcome to Plexus Life. This is our podcast for tonight. What's tonight? What's today's date? We are August 11th, 2017, and tonight we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Kathy Aceves, and she and I are on the same team, but pretty far apart, I think. She just ranked up to Ruby, in July, this past month. And I'm just fully in like this business mindset and really trying to wrap my head around completely what it takes to rock this Plexus business, because I know that the potential is there, and I know it is possible and totally doable if you put your mind to it. So in order for me to figure this out, what I am doing this month is really connecting with people who are working the business and rocking the business, and kind of just getting their experiences and hearing what they have to say about it. So Kathy, can you introduce yourself really quick?
Sure. I'm Kathy Aceves, Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I am a retired homeschool mom. I am a stay-at-home grandma, and I live in Southern California.
All right. And before we get started, I just wanted to really quick kind of do a disclaimer. I don't know how much we're going to be talking about, income and stuff like that, but we're not making any claims of anybody making any, kind of money. We're not saying you will make X, Y, and Z. We are discussing about where we are in the business, but the Plexus business does not guarantee or make any claims of any type of earning potential. Everything that is earned in Plexus is based on your commitment to the business, your leadership skills, and your ability to exercise those skills. So with that being said, Kathy, let's just jump into my first round of questions for you. So let me ask you, are you under Sarah McCarty, or who are you under? You're under Arin?
Let's see. I am under Amber Hargett, who is...
We talked to Amber last week.
Right. And Amber is under Pat Andrade, who is under Sarah McCarty.
Okay. And you're under who then? You're under Pat?
Amber.
You're directly under Amber. Okay, got it.
Amber. Well, got it. Yes.
Like all the levels, it's so hard to keep it straight.
Yes.
Okay, but we are on the same team. We are on Team Eichenhorst as far as like our diamond. And so a little bit of background info. You said you were a stay-at-home mom, teacher, stay-at-home mom?
I'm a homeschool mom.
Homeschool mom, okay. And so that's what you were doing when you found Plexus. What were you doing when you found Plexus?
When I had found Plexus, my youngest daughter had just completed her cosmetology schooling, and she was going to go take her test. And I was at a point in my life, health-wise, that I was fading very quickly. I suffer from one of those invisible diseases that is a horrible thing to deal with on a daily basis, and was in a lot of discomfort and was in a lot of it's really hard to think back now. I had a lot of discomfort and a lot of foggy brain, a lot of gut health issues that I've come to learn about. In January of 2015, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Mm-hmm. And so I had seen my friend posting about Plexus, and I sent her a message and asked her if there was a way I could get a sample, because I was not going to pay money for something that isn't going to work.
Right.
How many of us have said that?
Yeah.
And 3 days in, I signed up as an ambassador because I wanted to get my products for the least expensive price.
Of course.
Told her I was never touching the business. Never.
Yeah.
But on about day 4, it was like, okay, well, I have to share about this because I know too many people that are in the same boat, that feel crummy, that don't have any energy to get through the day. They're not sleeping. I mean, there's a whole wide array of things that go along with my invisible illness. So And that's how I got started in my business.
Yeah. I know it's so funny that so many of us have such a similar story as far as like starting out with the business, because it's all very organic. You know, it's like our own results, just sort of, you can't keep that to yourself when you know that there's so many people who really need to know that there's an option out there for them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it does happen organically. And then I think once you get into the business side, other things kind of fall into place. Once I learned about the compensation plan, and I didn't even understand the compensation plan until June, okay, of this year, like convention. I had my upline go over it with me with a fine tooth comb, and I'm all, okay, help me understand this, because it's very, like, I'm not clear on it, because we get paid 11 different ways. So I'm like, I don't understand.
Yes.
So anyhow, and then there's such, like, for me, I don't know about you, but I find the business side of it like a personal challenge, and I like personal challenges. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, what does the business do for you? Why do you continue doing the business and wanting to rank up and hitting goals and stuff for yourself? Like,
well, my why is my husband is close to retirement from his job that he's been at for over 20 years. And he turns 55 next year. So he could, in essence, retire at 55. But we would like to retire with him as debt-free as possible. And so for me, when my daughter was finishing up cosmetology school, I knew that I needed to get a job or something for me. Mm-hmm. And I decided that I was probably going to end up working at Walmart or Target or McDonald's or somewhere. Mm-hmm. There was no way I could physically do that. Yeah. So once I got on Plexus and saw that it was helping people, I really wanted to help people and just get my products paid for. Uh-huh. And then after I looked at the compensation plan, I was like, I could actually make enough money to make my car payment. Yeah. That was my goal, was to make my car payment. Uh-huh. And so now I make my car payment, I pay for my insurance, pay for my registration, and several other things that I'm able to take care of. I've paid off a credit card, that type of stuff. So it was more for me. I keep going because that's my ultimate goal, is for us to be out of debt. Debt-free. But for me, it's also helping people. I have so many on my team that have been helped with things that they didn't ever think would ever go away, or that they could ever feel better, or even sleep at night. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people do not sleep. Mm-hmm. One, because they're worried about finances, and two, because they just can't. They don't know why. They just don't sleep. And so I know so many people on my team now that are sleeping good sleep at night, and it's, that's really rewarding because I helped them. Yeah. And my team is helping so many people. Yeah.
Are you a yellow personality in the MLM structure?
I am not a yellow personality.
No? I am.
I'm a red personality.
I swear, I have yet to find another yellow doing this. Like, all the diamonds, all the jewels, they all seem to have these red personalities. So you guys go, because you're obviously like a determined group, Yes.
Yeah, and I'm one thing I can say about a red personality is that they are persevering. And, I've had setbacks. We all do. But I did not give up. And, and you are aware that there's always going to be something that comes along. And you just have to work through those setbacks and determine that, it doesn't matter, that you're just going to put the blinders on and go forward. Yeah. Because if you don't, what's the alternative? I mean, honestly, I could quit.
And work at Walmart.
Yeah, or not take the products and feel like I did 2.5 years ago before I started, and I will never go back to that. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think that is like something that is common. It's something that you have to sort of like decide for yourself, that I'm just going to keep going no matter what happens, because I mean, you fall and you get back up, or someone says no and then you move on and you go to the next person who wants to hear what you have to say, because there are people who desperately need what we have to offer. And there's something exciting about bringing that to people. And so if someone passes, I just say, okay, then it's not for them, or it's not for them right now. And then move on to the next person who, you can help. So, okay, so in July you ranked up to Ruby. Can you explain the ranking system first? Like, how does it work with Plexus?
Okay, so you want me to go from silver, or?
Yeah, let's start at silver.
Okay, all right. So when you're a Plexus ambassador and you have 3 friends join you as ambassadors, what that does is that helps you to rank to silver. They have to have a welcome pack, and when they sign up, or if it was an ambassador, say you sign an ambassador in July and then you sign 2 in August, that ambassador in July has to have 100 PV, and those 2 in August have a welcome pack. And as soon as that ambassador in July has 100 PV and you have your 100 PV in, then you will be a silver ambassador. To rank to gold, you have to have 100 PV, and I believe it's 15 points outside legs.
I think so.
Okay. So what an outside leg is, or your outside legs, you have your leg that is your strongest. That's your strongest ambassador that has a team that's growing like crazy. And then you have, because you're silver, you have 2 other legs. And technically, you could have 15 points on those 2 legs, which would be 3 ambassadors. So that would give you your outside leg. For gold, that was for gold. For senior gold, you have to have 250 points, and I can't remember what your outside legs need to be. I think it's 40. Is it 40 or is it more? I may be getting the outside leg points wrong.
To maybe pull up the.
You threw me a question I wasn't ready for.
Well, if you don't want to, you don't have to go through all the point structure, but just what's the structure?
Okay, so then when you hit 500 points, you are a. Well, let's back up. Gold is 100 points. Senior gold is 250 points. Ruby is 500 points. Senior ruby is 750 points. Emerald, which makes you a jewel and gets you not only a car, which is one of the perks, and a trip to Hawaii. And it also gives you an extra bonus. You don't get the same dollar amount bonuses. You get a bonus every month. You're in the Emerald pool, and you need 1,500 points to hit Emerald. To hit Sapphire, you need 3,000. I'm sorry, 1,500. Yeah, okay. You need 3,000 points to hit Sapphire, and then 4,500 points to hit Diamond. And with Sapphire, you not only get the Emerald pool, but you also get the Sapphire pool. And with Diamond, you get the Diamond pool, the Sapphire pool, and the Emerald pool every single month, in addition to the yearly trip to Hawaii and the Lexuses.
Yes, the Lexuses. So it's silver, gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, emerald, sapphire, diamond. So yes. Kathy has gone silver to gold to senior gold and is now ruby. So you're about halfway up. And technically, isn't a ruby considered a jewel?
No.
No? Okay.
We're a gem.
A gem. Okay, a gem.
Ruby is a gem. In fact, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell me.
I'm getting a license plate that says from gem to jewel.
Ooh, I like that. That's awesome.
So when I get my Lexus, it will have that on it.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, I love that. Just set that, make it real. You know what I mean? Just put it out there. That's awesome. Okay. So when you were, when you had your sight set on Ruby, so you told me before we started this live video, Kathy and I were on kind of chatting pre, countdown or whatever. And you were saying you had been at senior gold for 1.5 years. Is that right?
Yeah, a little less than 1.5 years. I want to say it was probably April of 2016 when I hit senior gold.
Okay. And would you consider yourself stuck there, or it was just like you weren't really, reaching for Ruby? It was like, okay, well, I'm happy here, whatever. What?
Yeah, I think I was stuck, and the best way to get unstuck is to take action. And there was some things that in my own personal growth and my own personal life that were holding me back, and so I had to reconcile some of those things before I could actually move forward. I think sometimes that we get really stuck, or we think we're stuck when we're really not stuck, and it's a mental thing. And so it took me a little while to get where I was ready. And God never moves us forward until we're ready.
Right. So was it just like an internal thing happening with you, personal stuff, or were there external circumstances that were barriers?
Both.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you came out of that and you were able to overcome and achieve. So what was kind of your strategy once you kind of were like, okay, you know what? Now's the time. This is mine. It's so close. I'm going to get it. How long were you working toward Ruby?
Oh, I've been working toward Ruby since I hit senior gold. However, like I said, things got in the way.
Sure.
And sometimes we're our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So when my points started really getting into the 400s, I started, looking closer and closer at it. And then my upline came to me and she says, okay, I am going to push for Sapphire this month. And so I said, okay, well, my team is on board. Let me know what we can do. So my points kept going up because we were helping her achieve her goal. And so once the last 2 or 3 days of the month came along, I was like, okay, I'm really close. Let's do this. So we decided to make the push, and I hit Ruby.
You hit Ruby.
So
how did you kind of get your team to rally around that goal? I mean, you put it out there, I'm sure. My team knows I'm, pushing for senior gold. And so we're all kind of working on our respective goals because their goals obviously impact my goals.
Right.
So how did your team respond, and how did they, support you with your goals?
Well, they did what we asked them to do, and I couldn't be happier with my team right now. I'm very pleased with them. They came out of nowhere and helped me to get to Ruby and helped my upline get to Sapphire. So that's pretty much all I can say.
Yeah, no, but you must feel really loved and cared
I do.
for.
I do feel loved. I very much appreciate everybody's efforts.
And that's, I think, one of the things that appeals to me so much about this particular company. I can't speak for other MLMs. It's not that, I have anything bad to say about them. I just haven't experienced them where I've been immersed in the team culture. But what I know about Plexus is it seems to me, everyone cheerleads each other. Like, no one has any real animosity about anything else. It's just like love. There's just love all around, and we want to help each other in any way that we possibly can. And I've been just so grateful to have that kind of support and camaraderie with other people as we're all pushing for our goals. So I'm glad that.
I've been in other MLMs over the years because I am an older ambassador. And I will say that I have never been in a company that has the culture that Plexus has, as far as everybody supporting each other. I was in one MLM where they were like, oh, you can't talk to that person because they're on so-and-so's team. And it's kind of like, but they might be able to help me. No, you can't talk to them. On and on. It was horrible. I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And this, I feel very blessed that I stumbled on this company because I wasn't looking. I already said I was never going to do this again.
Right.
And at the time, Amber had just decided that she was going to start doing the business just a couple of months before I joined.
Mm-hmm.
And so if she had not shared, I would not be here right now.
Yeah, I love it. So how long has it taken you to get this far? How long did it take you from the time you started and said, okay, yeah, I'm going to start sharing the products, to now, Ruby?
I started in January of 2015.
Okay.
So
2.5 years.
About 2.5 years.
Yeah. That's not bad. Okay. So again, I'm a big fan of Amy Paul. I say it all the time. I like her no nonsense. Like, she's very blunt. It appeals to me. I consider myself to be pretty blunt, almost to a fault. But anyway, I like her attitude. And one of the things that she said was, if I told you in 4 years, if you gave me 2 hours every day for 4 years, you would be getting a new car and a luxury trip to Maui. And she's basically saying in 4 years you can be a jewel, but you stop after 1.5 years, of Plexus because you're stuck at gold or senior gold and you can't move on, but you haven't given yourself enough time to actually hit something feasible. Some people do rank up faster than others, and our diamond, Melissa Eichenhorst, hit diamond in 7 months, but that's not necessarily normal. And I mean, have you ever found yourself comparing your journey to another journey or anything like that?
I think to some degree we all do, because I think that's human nature to compare. Sure. But everybody's journey is different. And I fully, truly believe that you're not going to move forward until we all have a lesson to learn at each rank that we're at. Mm-hmm. Because each rank you grow at every rank that you achieve. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like, apparently I had a lot of learning to do as a senior gold ambassador. But that said, everybody's journey is different. And so I cannot compare what my journey is to what your journey is or to my upline's journey, because everybody's journey is different. And we all have different networks. We all have different gifts. And I'm still learning. I may be an older lady, but I still am learning a lot about myself, because, for many, many years, I was lost in that invisible disease and taking care of my family. And I had to figure out who I was after going through all of that. So, it's been a journey for me.
Yeah. Well, I love that. I mean, I think, again, going back to not just team culture and the support thing, but the jewels especially, I tell this to everyone, the amount of personal growth that I'm having as a result of working this business is incredible. Because the jewels specifically are so generous with their trainings. The trainings that they offer us are so professional and so quality. People would pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to go to the type of, conferences where you're going to get poured into the way that they pour into us on a monthly and sometimes even a weekly basis. And I have just been floored at the quality of content that they are giving us and teaching us. So yes, you're absolutely right. We grow at each rank. I'm seeing that now as I'm pushing for senior gold. I was hoping to hit it this month. We'll see if that happens. I'm definitely re-ranking to gold. And so that's great too, but I really want to push beyond that. But anyhow, all that to say, I'm listening to other trainings and different things are clicking. I'm picking up points that that didn't make sense to me before, or it's not even that it wouldn't make sense. It would just go right over my head. It meant nothing. You know what I mean? And now I'm hearing some of the things that the jewels are telling us. And I'm like, oh yeah. Arin Bush did a training. I haven't even finished the training because I'm just note taking. Are you serious? She's sharing all her secrets. I can't believe she's sharing all her secrets right now. Okay, yes, I'm writing them all down because this is gold. I mean, no pun intended, but it is. It's gold, man. This is gold. So I'm super excited as I see, different things making sense for me.
Yeah, we're very blessed. I mean, our like you said, our individuals, company-wide, are amazing as far as what they share with us. And the theme is we're all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants to, we're all blessed, so we all want to be a blessing to everybody else. And, that's just, it's just been an amazing journey so far. And I know that it may take me another year to hit Emerald, and that's okay, because that's the journey I have to take.
Yeah. And like you said, in God's time, and he has something to teach us in all of this. And so I am patient. I pray daily, multiple times a day, for my team and for, everything that's happening. But ultimately, it is his plan, and he's, only going to reveal what we're ready for too. So.
Right.
Okay. So when you found out you hit Ruby, how did you respond? Where were you? How did that all go down?
Well, our back office was being very slow with updating because it was the last day of the month. However, I went about 2 or 3 in the afternoon on the 31st, which is a really good time, because if I would be, it was a nail biter all day, but I was 14 points over what I needed. So
wow.
Yeah, that was unexpected. We really expected me just to hit it. So
hit it. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, and I was very excited, and it's just kind of like, it didn't hit me till today, really, when I got the email from Plexus, and that, hey, congratulations on hitting Ruby, the little email they send you. And so that was exciting to get the email, because then it's, Plexus knows I'm a Ruby. Plexus knows I'm a Ruby, and that bonus is going to be on my check in a couple of days.
Even better. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So tell me a little bit about, we were talking about this earlier, and just as much as you can, some of the things that you've employed to help support your team and help support your team reach their goals. You've been doing launch parties. Is that right?
Yes. Excuse me. I have been doing online launch parties for my team, because a lot of my team are in Arizona, some in Northern California, and we have some that are in, I can't remember if it's North Carolina or South Carolina. And so it's much easier to do the launches for them that I normally would do in person. It's like a 5-day party on Facebook where we post, and there are giveaways. And
how many giveaways do you do?
For the launch party, they do one, and that's a 3-day trial pack that the ambassador does. And we try to keep those really light and fun, and post things that make people ask questions, that kind of thing.
Okay. And so at the end of these 5-day trials, then what does your ambassador do, and how have their results, what have the results been for them?
Well, it really depends on the ambassador, how their results are, because we all know that the fortune is in the follow-up.
Right.
And if they do not reach out to the people that are in their group, then it didn't go very well. But generally speaking, we usually have 1 to 2 people sign up as an ambassador for the discount. And then there's usually a couple of customers are gotten. I ask them to invite 60 people to this event online, and that's worked really well. Some people have 40 people that say yes, and some people have 20 people that say yes. And then of course there's always the risk that only 5 to 10 of those people are actually going to be active. So and we keep points for the posts. So at the end of the week, whoever has the most points is the winner.
Okay. Let me jump back here. Okay. So obviously, I mean, you want to bask in the Ruby moment, especially since today you got your email, right? But with that being said, what is your next goal?
Senior Ruby.
Yeah.
But currently, but this month, my current goal is to hit Leaders Retreat.
Are you still working toward that?
Yes, I have. I need a few more points to actually get invited. So, but I'm very confident. I have already ordered my husband. We've already paid for our airplane tickets. So
awesome.
It's
that same thing where you just like own it, do it. You know what I mean?
It's, it's like declare it and work for it. Don't. I know people who make goals and they say, "Oh yeah, I want to be this," and then they don't put the work behind what they say they want. And that's not how I operate. If I tell you I want to do this, I'm going to do whatever I can to get there. Now, I don't always hit my goal, but I have worked towards my goal. And we all know in MLM that whatever I do today is going to reap in 90 days. I will reap that in 90 days. So if you take a few days off in August, it's going to go flat for you in the next 3 months. In 3 months, you're not going to be reaping what you're actually reaping what you've sown, because you've sown nothing.
Right. So right. Do you write out your goals? Do you write them down? Do you put them in a place you can see them?
I do write them down. I do affirmations as well. I have our uplines used to ask us to post them, and they haven't done that in a while. But I do have my goals written out where I can see them, and that the planner I won last year has helped with that too, because I can write it. Every week I have a goal for that week, and like I said, I don't always meet my goals, but I do know what I'm headed for, and that's part of the key. You've got to know what you're headed for or what you want, and you have to be determined that you're going to get there.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties over here. My computer is probably working really way too hard. Okay, there you are. Okay, I couldn't get back to you. Okay, so how much? Okay. For your next rank up. So when do you plan to hit Senior Ruby? Do you have it?
I've been thinking about that, and I'm thinking probably the end of the year.
Okay. That's awesome. I have a goal for the end of the year too, but I want to hit Emerald by the end of the year. That's where I have my sights set. It's a huge goal, and I'm interested to see how that all plays out. And I think the biggest thing is writing down those goals and really having a tangible plan in place to make that happen. But for me and my husband, we really need that. It would be really, really beneficial for us to have that. So, okay, how much do you work your business?
At least an hour a day, if not. And it's hard to say, because this is one of those kinds of things you can do in the nooks and crannies of your life. And I can sit down and do my power hour, which is just me doing my own reach outs, making sure I have my go through my list and contact people and follow up with people and do that kind of thing. And that takes probably about 45 minutes to an hour. It kind of depends on what the day has to bring. And then sometimes, I work a little bit more because we have an event coming up or whatever. So it just kind of depends on the day for me. Yeah. But I do always try to do at least 30 minutes where I am reaching out to people, either cold messaging them or following up with people.
Okay. I was like, oh, like, would you say you're obsessed with it? Sometimes I feel like I'm like just super consumed. I get so excited, and I call it my plexus hole. I'm like, I'm gonna go climb into my plexus hole now, and I just kind of like stay there and do a training and like send out some messages and stuff like that. I don't know. How do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like that crazy passion?
I do have a passion. I have been told that my passion is overwhelming, but I am learning to not let it overtake every single moment of my day, because I do have family things I have to take care of. You know, there's still, the dishes don't get done unless they're put in the dishwasher, and that's my job.
Yeah.
You know, there's, the laundry doesn't get washed unless I wash it, and you know, that kind of a thing. And
Arin Bush, in that goals training she did, I think it was earlier this week. It must have been earlier this week. She said, I showed my husband. I was on number 11, sacrificing dirty house. She had a dirty house for a long time. She's all, and my husband, he knew I'm working. So anyhow, but I thought that was
yeah, fun. We're still digging out. We've had some life circumstances change, and so we've had some family members move in with us. So the house is in disarray right now. That's a kind word. It's driving me crazy. But at the same time, I do have goals that I want to meet. So I just have to, you know, pace myself. And there are days, you know, even though I feel 150% better, I still have days where this invisible disease affects me.
Mm-hmm.
Very few, not like it used to be. It used to be 100%. But I do have those days, and so sometimes, you know, I have to cut myself slack in all areas. I have to be kinder to myself, and so that's one thing I have learned, is that, you know what, as long as I do something every day for my business, outside of posting, I post every single day about Plexus. That's one of the, I have never not posted about Plexus.
Wow.
Since I started. I think maybe one day, and that was for my brother-in-law's funeral. But I have never not posted about Plexus.
That's awesome. Yeah,
even on days when it's like I don't want to. When I'm like, oh, do I need to post today? Yes, I need to post today. So I post.
If it's a business, and you know, you look at it as a business, on the one hand, you know, it's a relational business. It's this weird kind of balance between, yes, I have a product and technically I sell it, but it's this relational thing that I'm bringing to my friends and family to help them have an improved life circumstance, you know, and that health and happiness, and sharing it. So on the one hand, as a business, you want to advertise your business. So in the sense that we're sharing on Facebook, it sort of serves that dual purpose, because it, you know, if I'm talking about my Starbucks that I got from Starbucks and how I'm so happy that the spiced pumpkin latte is back, you know, Starbucks is kicking me back, you know, 50 cents off of my next drink because I did a social media post. And so anyhow, but Plexus pays us for talking about how awesome the pink drink is. You know what I mean? So yeah, those posts are actually really important for a number of reasons. A, getting information out, and B, yeah, it sustains our business in a lot of ways. So good for you for doing that, because I don't always do that. I've missed a couple of times. Okay, so have you ever approached someone with the business?
On occasion, but for me, it's very rare. I usually go from the product standpoint, because that is what has helped me the most. However, I am learning to approach it from the business standpoint first. That's still something that I have yet to perfect.
Yeah, it's tricky, and I think it takes the right person to lead with the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, most people are interested in the products. So when I'm considering, do I share the business with this person, I'm kind of trying to be like, well, how would they respond to that, you know? But I do think some people would just be amazing at the business. And so I tell them straight up, the products work. I think for me, here's where I'm at, Kathy. And not that, this matters. This interview is about you. but since we're close, I think where I've landed is I know the products work. And I think I can honestly tell people, you can try them, but they're going to work. If you give them the time that they deserve and you give it a fair shake and you're consistent with the products, they work. So the next question is, does the business work? And I can totally say without a shadow of a doubt, the business works. Yeah. And so, it's kind of going to people and going, well, do I want them on my team to run the business with me? Trying to be strategic in who I go and talk to about the earning potential, because the potential is great. I mean, it's huge. And some people, I think, can really do well with the business. So,
right.
And honestly, anybody can. It's just a matter of if they will. And, do they have the tenacity and that gumption, like you were talking about, to get back up when, it doesn't go the way that they had hoped. So,
right.
Okay. So what would you tell anyone considering the Plexus products?
What would I tell them? I would tell them that they work and that the products have changed my life. I was, that dragging person that had no energy all day long, and now I have my life back. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I tell them.
And isn't it amazing, like, how disrupted our lives become with health issues, and we just kind of accept it because we, it's like we don't know that it could be better. Well,
and for me, doctors wanted me to be on medications, which I would not be on, because I have friends that have this same exact invisible disease, and they are on medications that had them bedridden. And I was raising 4 children. I didn't have time for that kind of nonsense.
Right.
And my thing that I've come to find now, in looking back over my life, was that no one, well, Tom did, but there was really no one to come alongside me and say, hey, you need to take care of yourself so you can take care of your family. Nobody's going to take care of you but you. And so that's where that's what my message is now. I know a lot of ladies that are my age and younger that they're just dragging and they don't sleep. And I'm like, you guys have to take care of yourselves. And the best way to take care of yourself is not with that latte you got in your hand.
Right. God, I mean, it's poison.
Or not that bowl of ice cream that you're having every single night. I know that, and trust me, I am, ice cream and pizza are my thing. And I used to drink between 3 and 6 cups of coffee a day. So I do know where I'm coming from. But I was setting my bed up for disaster and setting my health up for death. Mm-hmm. And so, I encourage my friends. I'm like, you really need to take better care of yourself and drop the lattes and, the sugar. And, I have something that can help you. That's basically where I try to come from, is like, I'm here to help you help yourself. Mm-hmm. Because I know I didn't like feeling that way. And honestly, I was so bad, I didn't realize how bad I was until I felt better.
Yeah, I know. No, that is the crazy thing. That's exactly it. Is people don't know how bad they feel until they know how good they can feel. I did not know that feeling the way that I do now was how I should be feeling. I had no frame of reference.
Right. Well, and I had felt bad for so long. I mean, over 25 years of not sleeping for over 25 years. The first night I got a good night's sleep I was like 10 days in on Slim, and I went to bed, face down in bed, and woke up in the same position I went to sleep. And I looked at my husband and I said, did I move at all? And he's like, well, I don't think so, because you're usually up and down all night long. And it was like, it can't be. It just, no way was it the Slim. And sure enough, that's, you know.
Of course, yeah.
Man,
you slept hard.
You know, hey, I was making up for 25 years.
Oh, I love it. That is so good. Okay, last question. What would you tell anyone considering the Plexus business?
To go all in at the beginning, to not give up, to listen to your upline, and don't let anyone that is negative get into your head.
Yes. Amen to that. All right. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate you enlightening us on your experience, sharing your journey with us. I know it's all very personal, and I'm just so grateful that you had some time tonight to join us. Everyone, not tomorrow, next week, we're going to be talking with Holly O, who is a senior Ruby with Plexus and is working toward that Emerald Jewel rank. And so we'll be checking in with her. But for tonight, Kathy, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate your time, and it really was a pleasure speaking with you. So
you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll do it again soon. Take care and good night.
Good night.